How's it going, guys? Nerf Gun Charlie here, and welcome to the Borg update. Resistance may be futile. And as you can see, not much change when it comes to the UI. Though I darkened it, I did a little change to some of the colorations as far as like changing the saturation levels, the darkness, some of the actual color. Give it a little bit more dark and foreboding look for the Borg, but it's more or less stock. I really haven't done anything with it. I think, honestly, stock Borg UI looks really good. So, I kind of left it alone. But you're here for the Borg update. I'm recording this July 5th. For context, the Romulan update was recorded, I believe, on the 2nd of July and already uploaded. You saw this last week. And you're seeing this the week of my birthday. Which, by the time you're seeing this, I'll probably be... Go here. I'll probably be already a good way through the new campaign that AFC created. I'm going to go ahead and record the Federation missions, and I'm going to put it up on a poll on the channel if you want to see the entire campaign. With all the changes that he made. I'm fairly sure there's been no changes to the finale missions. I'm probably going to update the tech trees at the very least so that the new stuff is available. But beyond that, I really don't want to mess with his work. I'm just trying to, finish it, essentially. So what have we done with the Borg? Well, first off, I did this so they wouldn't bother me while we're over here looking at stuff. That's the first thing. So, got dark foreboding starships, my order buttons from Order of Time and Return with the circular motions, but as you can tell, my new buttons, I just created these, time frame wise. I created these before I started the Romulans. Found this template. I couldn't even tell you where I found this template. It was somewhere on Google when I was looking up Borg graphical interface ideas and options. So credit goes to whoever originally created this. It was like on a spreadsheet of multiple different things. But I'm using this as my build button. So when we go to my shipyards, all of our ships use this particular build button. Then a slight difference with the research buttons, as you can tell, it's been shaped a little bit differently. Different Borg characters as far as their font are in here, and it's showing a more classical style of what you're researching. As far as the starships, orders are similar to Orb of Time. Same with the special weapon buttons. But all in all, they're looking pretty good. Transwarp gate is here. New vessels for this particular update. First is the disc. The Borg disc. This is the equivalent to the Oberth. Tractor beam, and that is it. And as I highlight a disc, I'll just give you the description. It's just a small scout, and that's all it's meant for. But that's the equivalent of the Oberth, and it's going to take a little bit longer because it's Borg. The second one is the H class, or the Halon class. Their assimilated technology of choice is cloaking technology. So they can cloak. This is your Intrepid equivalent. So it's going to come in firing same level of weapons. And what I do like about the Borg, stock from AFC, all the beam weapons are tractor beam cannons instead of just beams. So they're all firing a tractor beam cannon. I really enjoy that. The third and final ship that was added, and I might upsize it just a little bit. This is your Galaxy class equivalent, the Tetrahedron. And I'm probably going to, like I said, make it a little bit larger. Its special weapon is a warp field destabilizer. And it sounds a little fancy. What it is essentially I am reusing the repulsion wave tech from the Klingons. However, this does not repulse the target. The force multiplier on here has been set to 0. So if I'm not mistaken, the force multiplier on the repulsion wave is like plus 60, plus 70. And that's the speed in which it pushes away a target from you. With it being set to 0, this essentially stops the target in place. It will not go forward, or go away from you. It will just stop in place. It will be stuck in place. It will not rotate anything. It is just stuck until the timer reaches 0. So you fire off one of these, let's say the Sovereign class, or a Warbird, or something like that you want to capture, it'll be stuck in place. It'll give you a few moments to get your assimilators or your cubes in place to assimilate the vessel, take it as your own. That way you can keep it away from reinforcements or its base. So that's the difference there. And special tip there. If you want to come in and change this value, the repulsion wave in the ODF, to a negative number, it will indeed pull the target towards you. I have done that in a private mod. It is very hilarious. You fire this pulse, and then all of a sudden the target is pulled towards you, and then it flies past you. Very hilarious. But that's their special tech. So you go up in Galaxy Clash, you can just stop it in place, run away, assimilate it, whatever you want to do. Everything else has their standard special weapons. The only unique thing is the assimilators fire 2 torpedoes instead of 1. The pulse cannons, you know, I happen to fire on something. There we go. I happen to like that pulse cannon shot, but everything else is tractor beam cannons and your standard torpedoes. You know, it's a good look. I'll show you the second shipyard. As you can see, your normal stuff here, your second research bay, which we'll go ahead and research some stuff now. But that's it. The AI is looking rather promising as far as what we're doing. As before, there are some stations that I cannot get rid of the team color on. That is literally because when you like put it in something like Milkshape, the stock models fly apart. I might try to replace them with converted A2 models, but it's not really something that really screams that it needs to be done. Like, I can replace them. It'll be up to you guys in the comments. You know, like I said, I'll be most of the way through the campaign by the time you see this, but there's always time to replace models, get them sized right. So, you know, it's, do we make for sure that team colors don't show up, or is it that big of a deal? I'm thinking not big of a deal, but to each their own. But yeah, this is the Borg. Let's see here. Let's see some combat. Come on. Ooh. And you can see why I decided to have turret defense here. They're looking worse for wear. But this is what we're looking at here. So, like I said, I'm rather proud of what we've got here. It looks good. Might do some minor changes to the UI. I don't know if I will or not, but primarily it's focusing on, do we really need to upgrade the stations to where there's no team colors? Which I'm thinking doesn't really matter. And then, you know, it's campaign. So I'm going to be running the campaign probably tomorrow. So July 6th, by your chronological time, I'll already be working on the campaign and having some fun. Side note, though, By the time you're seeing this, you will probably already see the poll on the YouTube channel as far as our posts. It is already on the Discord, where I host a lot of my project work as it happens. I have 2 projects that I've got next on the queue for mod remasters. I'm already working on my EAS scenario, but I'm flipping a coin. I flipped a coin a couple of times, it didn't really work. Which mod should I remaster next? And the choices are, and it will be in the poll, so please vote on that. And I'll just slip this in right now. Like, comment, subscribe if you like all the content that's coming out so far. But the options are that I remaster the Millennium Project using all the stuff that we've done, getting Future Tense out, doing the Orb of Time remaster, getting Fleet Command up and running. Do we remaster the Millennium Project to the nth degree, so much so that maybe I even upgrade it with Future Tense level UI and some tools of the trade that Taurus has given me for the UI? Or do we remaster the Star Trek versus Star Wars mod, which I do have a copy of thanks to the repository, including its 1.1 patch and its 1.2 patch. So which one? You can comment down below. Of course, like I said, like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content, but those are the 2 up on the deck. Which one will I do first? Which one will I do second? I'm going to try and start those here soon once I've got a handle on the campaign. I know everything works, and this thing is getting ready for release. And I can get some good headway on the EAS scenario, because I really want to get it out. I really think it's going to be an interesting take on the subject matter, because I'm trying to take a different perspective than what you see when you're seeing the actual event. It's going to be a long one, too. My estimate is it might end up being my longest EAS scenario that I've ever done. So, here's to it. Until next time, guys, y'all stay safe out there. As I said plenty of times, like, comment, subscribe. But I'll see you guys out there. Enjoy.